Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In today's episode, a world-renowned medical manufacturer is making a $100 million investment in the community. The Volusia County trail system earned high marks from the state that will pave the way for more paths. And tryouts for the junior lifeguard program is fast approaching. Finally, the community airport is experiencing record growth, and joining Joanne Magley in the studio is Jay Cassens, the Director of Business Development with the Daytona Beach International Airport. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Braun Medical, a major developer and manufacturer of medical products, recently announced plans to build its second plant in Daytona Beach.
Under Governor Scott's leadership, Enterprise Florida, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, the City of Daytona Beach, Volusia County, Team Volusia, Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce, and our new best friends, the CEO Business Alliance. We have made a commitment to the governor and to Florida to build our only second IV solutions plant in the United States right here in Daytona Beach.
The expansion will make a capital investment of more than $100 million and create 175 jobs. Braun Medical is the soon-to-be new operator of the Gambro manufacturing plant in Daytona Beach. The CEO Business Alliance was instrumental in the recruitment process. Kent Sharples and Glenn Ritchie of the CEO Business Alliance spoke about the importance of local business leaders in the recruitment process.
Over the course of the process of negotiating between the seller of the company and Braun, and then also getting to know the community, we were successful. And I think buying the community was as much a part as buying the facility too. Very important to the German-based company.
But I'd like to go back and say what a great job Ken has done with the CEO Alliance, making cold calls to get attention of these companies that may be interested in relocating their businesses to our community. And that's how all this got started.
Headquartered in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Braun Medical is a full-line supplier of IV therapy products, including IV solutions, drug delivery systems, and infusion pumps. The company also manufactures, markets, distributes, and supports a comprehensive medical product line that includes advanced products for pharmacy, clinical nutrition, and renal replacement therapy. The 175 new jobs will be in place by the year 2019. Trail lovers in Volusia County have a reason to celebrate. Florida's Office of Greenways and Trails Council recently gave the St. Johns River to the Sea Loop a top ranking for state funding. The St. Johns River to Sea Loop is a work in progress that will cover 260 miles in east central Florida when it's complete. The loop crosses 5 counties: Volusia, Flagler, Putnam, St. Johns, and Brevard. 68 miles of the River to Sea Loop are in Volusia County, including the unfinished Spring to Spring Trail in West Volusia and the Rail Trail, which crosses the southern part of the county. The St. Johns River to Sea Loop will connect with the Coast to Coast Connector, which is also under construction. The Coast to Coast Connector will connect St. Petersburg to Titusville and everything in between. Both systems will provide multi-use trails that let residents and visitors explore Central Florida by bicycle and on foot. According to the new funding formula, the Florida Department of Transportation will provide $25 million a year for 5 years to trail design and construction. The funds will be split 3 ways, with the Coast to Coast Connector, the St. Johns River to Sea Loop, and individual trails, each getting about 1/3.
We're really excited here in Volusia County because, you know, when we look at building trails, funding is the element that is really, you know, holding us up in terms of building these out. But now that we have this additional funding source, that we've reached highest ranking on those dollars, now we're able to start the planning process and start folding in those sections of trails that are going to be built first. So we're really excited. It was a great benefit to Volusia County and their other 4 counties of the St. Johns River to Sea Loop.
Volusia County's Parks and Trails app is a great resource for more information, and the app is available for download at the App Store and on Google Play. The mobile app helps people navigate outdoor recreational assets throughout the county. For more information about Volusia County's trail system and the app, you can visit volusia.org/trails. Youth between 9 and 15 who are looking for sun, fun, and water might find an end to summertime boredom in the Junior Lifeguard program. Now in its 27th year, the program teaches participants about beach safety in a fun and challenging atmosphere. Professional lifeguards teach water safety and first aid techniques.
Children 9 to 15 can come in and they can do various things on the beach. The program actually kind of prepares them for being a lifeguard down the road. So it's kind of a springboard to our full-time employment or part-time seasonal employment down the road. So they start at 9 years old, they do different things, and as they progress through the years, they get to do more challenging things throughout the program.
And the program embraces many of the elements that are part of the profession of open water lifeguarding, including physical conditioning, competition, and traditions. At its core, the program promotes commitment, discipline, and respect for the environment and respect for each other, and good sportsmanship. Those are all part of the program, and we feel we're really proud of the program, and the kids that come through it have a memorable and enjoyable time.
Junior lifeguards will participate in daily team relays involving surfboard paddling, swimming, running, and beach flags. The 5-day camps also help to build self-confidence and prepare participants for work as lifeguards.
It's a program that offers a lot of rewards and memorable experiences, whether they decide to be a lifeguard or not.
Youths must attend one of the tryouts between May 7th and May 28th at local YMCAs and pools.
They do have some requirements that they have to meet before they come into the program. Number one, they have to be able to swim 100 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. They have to be able to swim underwater for 10 feet, and they have to be able to tread water for 5 minutes. So it's like I said, it's not a learn to swim program. You do have to have some swimming skills in order to get into the program.
Upon completion of the physical skills test, a $150 tuition fee will be due. Enrollment is limited and applications are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. The week-long camps are from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. June 13th through July 22nd in Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, and New Smyrna Beach. For more information, you can contact Beach Safety Ocean Rescue at 386-547-0246 or juniorlifeguard@volusia.org. In this week's Here and Now, we go backstage to see the inner workings behind the productions at the Athens Theater in DeLand.
Athens, located in historic downtown DeLand, has offered that slice of life while also providing a wide array of entertainment.
The Athens Theater opened in 1922. It was built in 1921 by DeLand craftsmen, actually. And then in 1922, the theater opened as a vaudeville theater, ran for many national and well-named acts. We believe that Elvis Presley came through once upon a time before he went really big. And then many, many other stars came through as well.
The railroad tracks about 2 blocks to the north of the Athens Theater allowed actors to walk to the Athens to perform for the evening, then get back onto the train and head to the next theater along the stop. Through the years, the Athens progressed into a movie theater, community theater, dinner theater, and even a restaurant. Around the mid-90s, the Athens Theater closed for a period of about 15 years to go through some historical renovations needed to bring the community theater back to its original 1920s glory. Funding for the renovation was provided by Volusia County Echo Grant, local donations, and other various governmental funding.
The building was completely gutted to the brick walls of the Athens Theater. I looked right through the front doors, looked into a gigantic hole of the Athens Theater, And then they started by adding walls and restrooms and the balcony and the whole bit. And from there they added the stage, you know, all the various lighting that it takes to pull off a production.
Since its reopening in 2009, the Athens Theater produces up to 8 shows, plays, and musicals per season, while also accommodating 30 to 40 community acts per year.
Hey, Kendra, how are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Good to see you too. Is this your first time with us at the Athens?
Is.
Well, I want to show you inside the lobby. Come on in.
All right.
You've got to check this out. You know, the Athens Theater was historically renovated in 1921. So a little known fact about the lobby is that, you know, you are in what was the 1922 lobby when the theater reopened. Just, of course, now with the upgrades and the beautiful facility. Hey, you know, I've got to get going, but I'm going to see you on stage in a little bit for your grand debut, and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
In addition to attending shows, there are many other ways to get involved with the Athens, from volunteering as an usher to production of sets and even auditioning for a role on the 40-foot wide stage.
All right, Kendra, here we are on the set of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Now, I've been thinking of the perfect role for you.
Oh, no.
You should play Lucy.
I don't know about Lucy. What about Woodstock?
Perfect. He doesn't have many lines. You have a great time.
Acting may not be right for me, but you should definitely catch a show at Athens. I will, and you should too. Craig explains that putting together a production takes not only trained theater staff, but also community members that are willing to donate their time and various talents for the bigger picture.
You're Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Hi.
As we're putting a show together, there's a design team. There's one person that's a scenic designer and a lighting designer and a props designer and a sound designer and director and choreographer and music directors and stage managers. And we all sit kind of round table and we figure out what the entire process for the show is going to be. Everything from calendars to what, you know, how we're going to organize putting the show together to kind of conception of what the show will look like on the stage.
The benefits don't stop at entertainment. The Athens benefits children as well. The Youth Theater program offers various camps, school tours, and workshops for the youth of the community. To learn more about the Athens Theater, upcoming shows, and their programming for kids, visit athensdeland.com. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
The Florida Department of Health continues to work on its efforts to bring awareness to the problem of human trafficking. It is estimated that more than 20 million men, women, and children around the world are victims of human trafficking. Statistics rank Florida as the 3rd highest trafficking destination in the country, with half of all trafficking victims under the age of 18. Community Health Matters reporter Holly Smith has details in this segment.
We're working with what we have, and I was like, what do we have? And she's like, your body.
I didn't know about sex trafficking until I was in the middle of it.
After a while, you just kind of get used to it. Like, everything that goes around just doesn't seem out of ordinary to you.
We really believed that she was getting ready to be sold.
Human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery. Traffickers profit from the control and exploitation of others, and it's a crime.
Well, just the title in and of itself, human trafficking, or another way it's been expressed is modern-day slavery. It really opens your eyes immediately and catches your attention. And so I think it lets you know that this is modern-day slavery going on right underneath our noses in our community.
Victims of trafficking may experience a host of health-related problems. They are at high risk of injury, illness, and even death from the circumstances of their forced treatment and bondage.
They estimate over 20 million people are being human trafficked. over our globe. And so it's our community, and part of it is a responsibility, a social responsibility. And because human trafficking has to be addressed, it's very complex.
Chosen, a sex trafficking prevention video and resource package for youth, tells the shocking story of two all-American teenage girls tricked into trafficking. 18-year-old Brianna was an honor roll student and a cheerleader who worked at a local cafe. 13-year-old Lacey was an active member of her youth group and a volunteer in her community. Both were manipulated, both were exploited, both were chosen.
Brianna comes from a small town, was an A student, did everything you hoped your daughter would do.
My dreams were to become a nurse. While I was in high school, I had found a waitressing job.
I love school, I love being around my friends, and my science class was like my big thing.
These traffickers or pimps, they pretend to be an older boyfriend, and these young girls actually fall in love with these guys and believe that this guy loves them back.
He was like 24, he played football at a university. He had bought me some designer jeans and things.
Go to like movies and malls, trips, stuff like that. He bought me a dress and some jewelry because like I didn't really have stuff like that.
Members of One Voice for Volusia watched the Chosen video by Shared Hope International. They came away with a deeper concern for the issue and ways to help.
We wanted to let our community know that this is just one avenue that people are able to make a lot of money off of our young people who are very vulnerable. And these girls that were in the Chosen video are not just homeless girls or girls where these were college bound in youth groups, but they were chosen with certain characteristics and really cultivated. And so we wanted to make our community aware that this is going on everywhere.
He kept saying that he needed money. So I was like, you know, I'll help you or whatever.
I made a choice that night, but I found out that they actually had chosen me.
The Florida Department of Health is committed to working with state and local partners, community organizations, and all Floridians to eliminate human trafficking. For the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County, I'm Holly Smith.
And now it's time to head into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, Jay Cassens, Director of Business Development at the Daytona Beach International Airport.
Thanks, Amber. Well, the county-managed Daytona Beach International Airport continues to experience month-over-month passenger traffic increases, and that is a good economic indicator for the entire community. So with us in the studio is the airport's Director of Business Development, Jay Cassens.
Hi.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about passenger numbers. For the month of March, we had a big increase. I think it was 11%.
Yes, this marks our 5th consecutive month with an increase year over year. So it's a really positive sign. We were up 11% this month. We were up 18% last month in February. We had 5% in November, 3% in December. Before JetBlue started. So it's really great to see the increases. And this is the first time that we've been over 70,000 since 2010. So that's really a great sign for things to come.
And I know you mentioned that the increase is due in part to the new JetBlue service, but we have to also mention that our other carriers, Delta and American Airlines, they're pretty regularly at capacity as well.
Yes, Delta last month increased from 92% load factor last year in March to 94% this year. And American's been right around 90%, so things are looking good. So it's really positive to see the load factors continue to increase.
So let's talk a little bit more about JetBlue. Right now it's one flight a day in and out. And you say the folks at JetBlue are actually pretty happy with what they've seen so far.
They've told us that it's meeting expectations and actually exceeding expectations for some of the month. February was very strong for them, and March was even better. They were at 84% load factor in March, so that's really great to see.
And JetBlue has said repeatedly that they are committed to Daytona Beach, but I know you like to get the point across to the community that regardless of it, whether it's JetBlue or any other service, that we really need to use the services at our airport in order to even think about getting additional service.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the carriers are going to respond to, you know, how well the community responds to additional service. I've been told by other airlines that they're really keeping their eye on JetBlue to see that the flights are filled, to see that we're growing our market, and we're not just taking from Delta or American Airlines to fill the JetBlue seats. So the more seats that we have purchased, the more full the planes are, the more likely there is to be expanded service in the future. So we just got to continue to fill those planes every single day.
So let's talk now about the fiscal picture at the airport. It's a service of Volusia County government, but you don't use tax dollars. So how do you operate?
So we don't collect ad valorem tax dollars. We manage the airport as an enterprise fund. That means all of the money that we make, all the income that we make from the passengers traveling through, from parking, concessions, the passenger facility charges. We also get money from the airlines, rent revenues for the gates, ticket counters. All that money is then reinvested for the operation and maintenance of the airport.
So tell us a little bit about the land around the airport, because another revenue source that you have are leased properties on the airport.
So we have you know, a couple prominent companies that you'll see right off of ISB. We have some frontage there, which is Outback Steakhouse. We have Hooligans that's going to be opening up here in the next couple weeks. We have several other hotel properties in the general vicinity, but then on the south side of the property we have about 400 vacant acres that can be used for future development. That land down there needs some work. It needs to be developed before we can really get out there and sell that land per se, but there's definitely a lot of room for expansion around the airport. I wish I had more acreage on ISB. That would definitely be good for us, but we're happy with what we have, and Outback and Hooligans are two great chain restaurants that we have.
So why is it so important for you to have high quality leased properties? I know you mentioned in the past that that's actually somewhat more important for your revenue than actual revenue that you get from airlines.
Well, the airline revenue is extremely important because, you know, per passenger, we get about $21.70 through the concessions, rental cars, parking, FAA entitlement funds, PFCs. If you add just one flight a day for an entire year, that's over $1 million impact to the airport. So the airlines are extremely important. You know, another part of our revenue source is our land. So we collect a significant amount of money through our land rentals outside the fence and inside the fence from our fixed base operators like Sheltair, Yelvington, and ATP. So diversifying our revenue portfolios is something that we're definitely focused on. It's a very important aspect of the airport.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the marketing and public relations that we do for the airport. One thing that we like to, the point that we try to get across is the convenience factor. And there's many areas of convenience that we promote, from parking to TSA. What are some other things that people should take into consideration when we're trying to get them to use the local airport?
Well, I don't think you can beat the convenience factor of Daytona Beach International Airport. Like you mentioned, the parking is so close to the terminal. The rental cars for the folks that are traveling in, rental cars are right there inside the terminal. It only takes a couple minutes to get from your gate to your car. We have TSA pre-check now at the airport, which is a big deal. The airport's already convenient, but TSA pre-check just makes it a little bit more convenient. You're able to keep your shoes on and your belt and your laptop in your bag, your liquids in your bag. So that's just another feature that we have there.
And you also do the mail back program. And for people who aren't familiar with that, that's where if you go through security and say, you know, you forgot your pocket knife in your pocket that, you know, your great grandpa left for you.
Right.
We have a program where our TSA will actually mail back those items to you.
Yeah, it's a really neat program. That's not something that you would get at a larger airport. You know, if you forgot something that is super sentimental to you in your bag, like a pocket knife that your grandfather gave you, they're not going to seize it and throw it away. They'll actually mail it back to you. I mean, you just don't get those kind of conveniences at some of the larger facilities. So, like we always like to say, you know, convenient, stress-free, and friendly.
So let's get back to TSA for a moment, because you mentioned the TSA checkpoint that we have, but we are also in a month or so, this late spring, early summer, we will have a permanent TSA enrollment center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, like I mentioned before, having TSA pre-check allows you to go through a separate line. It's usually a lot shorter than the regular line. In Daytona Beach, it's not a huge impact that you're going to feel, but when you go to Atlanta or JFK or Detroit, you're going to be able to skip the regular line and go to the TSA pre-check line. It's $85 for 5 years. That gets you enrolled in the program. You can go online, you fill out your application, then you come into the airport, get your fingerprints done. We'll be the smallest airport in the country to have a TSA pre-check enrollment center located at the airport. So that's a big deal for our community, that they can come in and take advantage of just how convenient the airport is, instead of going to a larger facility and having to deal with all the traffic. So we're really looking forward to that. Hopefully at the beginning of June we'll have that opened up.
Let's talk a little bit about fares, because, you know, we hear that it's too expensive to fly out of Daytona Beach, but you really would like to argue that we're very competitive when it comes to flying out of the local airport.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at other airports in the area, obviously we have Sanford down the road, we have Orlando International Airport. Those airports are relatively inexpensive, but if you compare us to a whole, you know, we're less expensive than Jacksonville, less expensive than Gainesville, less expensive than Miami. We're about $20 on average less expensive than the national average for airfare. It's important for folks to book ahead of time, at least you know, a month to 2 months ahead of time. Be able to be flexible so you can get the best fare possible.
So Jay, where can people go to keep up with everything that's happening at Daytona Beach International Airport?
They can visit us at flydaytonafirst.com, or they can find us on Facebook. Those are the best places to keep track of what's going on at the airport.
All right. Our guest today, Jay Cassens, the Business Development Director at Daytona Beach International Airport. Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman. Have a wonderful evening.